Paul King himself.
Paul King.
Paul King.
His last name is very apt for
because he is a king.
The kind of guy he is.
He's goated with it.
He's kind of swagged out, if you will.
He is kind of swagged. I watched Paddington 1 on this most recent tour we did, but I have not seen Paddington 2 yet.
You gotta see Paddington.
I know
2.
I gotta see Paddington 2.
You gotta.
Been told by just so many people.
You gotta.
Do you remember like 2 weeks ago when I was working on that song and I was like, we were about to record and I was about to save it, and I was like, what should I name this? And you were like, Harold's Wacky Adventure.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
I do remember this.
Okay. And remember in that conversation, I was like, this is going to fuck me up later when I'm looking for it, but that's fine. And I named it Harold's Wacky Adventure.
Yeah.
Guess who thought they lost the entire project file for about 35 minutes today?
Was it you?
Because I was like, I had a track of like, I had like a Logic project that was noise that I wanted to add to that same song later. And I named it the song title Noise. And I was like, well, obviously I named it that because I named the original project file the song title.
Obviously.
And then I'm like scanning through for like 35 minutes. I'm like, I cannot believe I lost this song. I went to pull up the tabs for it because I was like ready to re-record it before you got here. And then I like looked at a project file and I was like, Harold's Wacky.
Hey.
So.
What can I say? It's a flawless naming
So that
system.
happened. Yeah.
So that happened.
Yeah. So, if we maybe just decide to go with Harold's Wacky Adventure as the real title of the song, you'll know who named it.
That would be very funny. Harold's Wacky Adventure.
Yeah, if it was just called Harold's Wacky Adventure.
And everyone's like, "Who's Harold?"
How are you doing?
Know. I'm alive.
Yeah.
But I've been running around so much the past few days.
Oh yeah, what you been doing?
I've been working a bunch, and then like every day before I've had to go to work, I've had something that has like immediately come up, and then I have to deal with it. And like I've been calling customers all week, and like multiple customers have been like, "Hey, I would like to order a sign with you," and then it turns out their zip code is not covered by my franchise, so I have to redirect them to someone else. But sometimes it's like I'm playing phone tag with them, and then I get them on the phone, and I'm like, "All right, what's your zip code?" And they're like, "This one," and I'm like, I don't do that one." So you could have just typed this in on the website and found that out for yourself.
That's so funny.
But then, yeah, I've been getting back from work at like fucking 4 a.m.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Busy season, right? Because like people are graduating and shit. Yeah.
Busy season, but then I'm about to go on tour in a couple weeks, and also the album comes out next week.
Yeah, album next week. Tour what, the week after that? Nice.
Tour 2 weeks. We've been practicing and practicing and trying to get used to these tracks, and I think we're finally getting the hang of it. Also, the album is coming out, which is frightening.
Yeah, it's very strange.
But we put up the shock collar video on Wednesday.
Okay.
And people are liking that a lot.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
I did the social media purge, so I have not seen any of this.
Yeah. It's I'll send you the link, but it's I posted it in the Dow Boys Discord, and immediately someone was like, "Why did you do that?"
That's fucking awesome.
And I was like, "It's funny," and they're like, "It is pretty funny."
It is pretty funny, yeah.
But it's doing okay.
That's awesome. I quit the restaurant.
Oh hell yeah!
Done with that fucking place, dude.
Finally.
Just absolutely fucking done. They can suck my dick and eat my shit, man.
So true.
So fucking true.
That's the type of shit I'm on.
Yeah. I mean, so like, it's funny because I'm still in all the group chats for like, they had group chats. There was like one, and he's never going to hear this, so this doesn't matter. There was one with the manager that everybody hated. that I've mentioned on this podcast before.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite. What's your favorite liquid cheese guy?
Yeah.
And then there was one that was just like everybody that worked at the store without him in it,
Mm-hmm.
like including managers who like should not be making those group chats. Like I didn't make one of those group chats, but like I was added to one and I was like, oh, interesting. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was in a third group chat that was just all the managers.
Mm-hmm.
And last night, my last day was Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and yesterday 6 people quit.
Damn.
So 6.
Holy shit.
I just watched I'm just watching 3 different group chats spiral about different things.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of the teenage girls that worked at the restaurant said manager made them very uncomfortable physically.
Uh-oh.
So I'm meeting with somebody tomorrow afternoon. I assume to be asked if I observed this behavior.
Yeah.
Which I guess I did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Fuck. I mean, he's like weird to girls, but like,
yeah.
Anyway. So we'll see how that goes. Airing all of my restaurant's dirty laundry on this podcast. Sorry, everybody. But I don't fucking work there anymore. So
6
who cares?
people.
6
All
people
at
in
once.
one day.
That's fucking
Which
insane.
is nuts. That's got to be a record for something.
Mhm.
But anyway. What else? Oh, one of the last things I saw on Twitter before I deleted was there was a thread that was like, why Mania and the Tortured Poets Department are the same. Did you see this?
No, I didn't.
It was, I don't know if it was on our podcast feed or if it was on the band feed, but it was one of those two.
Mm.
And I was like, this is a fucking uncurated nightmare. Like, this is like, well, maybe curated nightmare for me. A nightmare of like someone comparing, I mean, a not good Fall Out Boy album to the new 30-song Taylor Swift album.
Yeah.
And like all the, it's like they both talk about drugs. Like that was one of the pieces of evidence. I was like, well, by that logic, like, why don't I just like start comparing Taylor Swift to like every straight edge hardcore band? Like, you know? Right.
Here's why Taylor Swift's new album and No Cure are the same.
Yeah. No Cure, A Commitment to Permanence, and the Tortured Poets Department. Here's why they're exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Pretty stupid shit, but anyway.
Sometimes a little insanity goes a long way.
A little insanity goes a very, very long way, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a little insane right now.
Also, the last day that I worked, I meant to mention this to you. There was the guys in the kitchen were playing a Latino rapper,
mm-hmm.
or maybe a Mexican, more specifically, I believe a Mexican rapper,
mm-hmm.
Who had like Spanish Amir Van flow, and I was like pretty amazed by like how he definitely heard that, and he's like, well, I could just do that in my language. Like, it was like
nobody will fucking notice.
Yeah, it was like dabba dabba da, dabba dabba da, dabba 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 da, and I was like, that's the Amir Van flow. I was like, he's just doing it in Spanish. That's amazing.
Did he start every line with yo or soy?
Yes.
That's awesome. It really is the Amir flow.
Yeah. Yo soy. Yeah. It's just over and over. And I was like, whoa, dude, that's crazy.
Spanish Amir Van, dude.
Wow.
Wow.
Anyway, we got a song to talk about today.
We do got a song to talk
about.
Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back to the Saint Scene. It's a podcast.
Yo soy Carson.
Yo soy Dawson. El pronoun. I don't know the word for pronoun in Spanish.
Pronoun.
There's
an extra emphasis on the end.
Pronoun.
There's a tilde. Yeah. Pronouns. Hombre.
That's just guy.
Yeah.
Pronoun guy. Pronoun.
Yo soy hombre.
Yo soy hombre.
Tú eres hombre.
Yeah. Tú eres hombre. Yo soy grande perro. You know.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Grande pene. Big penis.
Mis huevos es muy grande.
Ooh.
Ooh, you know what that means?
Your balls are very big.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, I know. I know a little bit here and there.
Yeah. My drummer Rui taught me that one.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What song are we talking about today, Dawson?
We're talking about Lake Effect Kid today.
Yes, we sure are. Yes, we sure are.
And here's a snippet of it. And it's over.
Oh man, I was gonna not say anything and see if you would let it go on.
I had a feeling that you weren't gonna say anything.
I really like this one.
I do too.
I gotta say,
It's pretty darn good.
And I think that when it came out, like post Mania, I was just like very grateful to have a song that had guitars.
Yeah.
And like not wasn't a football song and wasn't a song for children.
Mm-hmm.
And going into this, I was like, oh, I'm definitely biased towards like I was definitely excited about this song because of Mania, and because Mania was such a letdown to me.
Everyone popped off when we got this on the wheel last night.
Everyone did pop off when we got this on the wheel, yeah. Which, like, when we got it on the wheel, I was like, that's cool. I don't know how it holds up. And then I listened to 3 different versions of it today. The studio recorded version that's on the Lake Effect Kid EP, released 2018. The demo version from 2008 that I believe was played on Travie McCoy's radio show.
Damn.
Which is a very weird thing. And the live version from the Mania tour, in which they played this song, I believe was the only date they played this song was in Chicago at Wrigley Field.
That makes sense.
And I gotta say, all 3 versions of this song that I listened to rocked. They also rolled, and I was like, this is maybe an unfuckwithable Fall Out Boy song. Maybe. This is coming off us doing a unfuckwithable yet divisive song last week of you guys all being like 7, 8, and me being like 10.
Yeah.
Definitively 10. Whereas this one is maybe a little more undeniable. Like, I don't know if it's a 10 for me yet. We'll get there, though, as we do every episode of the show. But it is real good. Anyway, what you got?
I think it's pretty darn good.
Pretty darn good?
Pretty darn good. When I listened to it like fucking 6 times on the way up here. And the first listen, I was excuse me, I'm yawning. Goodness. First listen, I was like, I don't know if this is that good. I was like, this is I feel like this song has the reputation it does because it has guitars and it came out after Mania came out.
Sure.
And
pretty
then,
much my exact thoughts, except without you having the context of when it came out.
Yeah, I wasn't a Fall Out Boy fan when this song came out, so I wasn't there. But I listened to it more and I was like, all right, it's kind of charming. It's getting me because I listened to. I think what helped is I listened to City in a Garden, which was a mistake.
Bad idea.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
I can't
Not
recommend.
a good song.
I can't recommend that.
Yeah. And also, Super Fade is on this EP as well.
I didn't bother
correct?
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, which we've done that before.
I was like, I've already listened to this as many times as I physically need to. I'm not going to do it again.
I don't know if we've ever said it, but we like invited Marty to be on the Super Fade episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not on it, is he? He's
No.
not. We invited Marty to be on the Super Fade episode, and we told him what the song was, and I showed him a little clip of it. He was like down,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Oh, I'm not doing that. I don't want to talk about that."
I don't blame him.
He just sat on the couch. I'm pretty sure in pure silence.
Yeah.
That's why Marty wasn't on that Super Fade episode.
Let me double check if he was on that episode.
I don't think he
but
was.
I don't think he was. That night was a very funny, silly, wacky night.
It was a very funny, silly, wacky night. I think we did What a Catch that night too, with him.
With him, yes.
Yeah.
It was yeah. I did not want to listen to that fucking song again. We did not do What a Catch again that night. Not again, but that was an entirely different night. It seems.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right.
Well, who's to say?
Yeah. Excuse me, sorry, I messed up. The song was initially a demo that appeared on the Citizens FOB mixtape Welcome to the New Administration. Which has some stuff on it. It was like a promotional thing that was like, I think, just to promote Foley. And they did a Cobra Starship's I Kissed a Boy is on there, which makes sense to me. There's like, it's a very weird mixtape. I do remember listening to this at one point. There's a Hush Sound song on it called We Believe in Barack Obama, which is pretty funny. And there's like a demo of Northern Downpour by Panic at the Disco on it here.
Oh.
It's very strange. But anyway, not really important. At some point, maybe we'll listen to that for Patreon or something like that. Well, Patreon episodes aren't fucking about Fall Out Boy.
Yeah,
but maybe at some point we'll listen to that mixtape. It's pretty funny.
Maybe someday.
In retrospect,
is that I Kissed a Boy a parody of I Kissed a Girl?
It sure is. Yeah. I believe they also did Holla Back Boy.
I do appreciate them changing the gender on I Kissed a Boy to keep it gay.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what the point is on Holla Back Girl.
We could listen to Holla Back Boy right now if like.
No.
You don't want to?
No, I don't.
I kind of do. I haven't in a very long time.
We can do that after we record.
Oh, damn.
Because it's not really relevant to this episode.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised we're not talking about Kendrick Lamar's Euphoria right now instead of this fucking song. But not to date the episode, but that came out like 2 days ago. It was like the craziest thing that's happened in rap music since Pusha T bodied Drake, maybe. I don't know.
Oh my God. We could talk about that.
I mean, I don't know how much time I have to talk about this song and also Euphoria. So let's talk about this song real quick so we can talk about Euphoria. I think, like, lyrically, very 2008 Pete Wentz.
Yeah.
The Opium Den Mother, Forget My Head, at a dead end called Unsteadiness, Boxed Blondes have less fun.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely 2008 Pete Wentz shit.
Yeah.
But then the chorus is just I Love Chicago.
Yeah. But I do appreciate how it is not like so on the nose about it.
Right. Yeah. You have to know what lake effect weather is.
Yeah. And you have to know what Chicago is, like, as a prerequisite.
Sure. Sure.
But fucking City in a Garden is genuinely just I love Chicago.
Yeah.
And Superfade is Chicago gets my soul. And this is a very nice change of pace as far as that goes. Yeah. And also Lake Effect Kid just sounds way cooler than I love Chicago, god damn it. Yeah. Chicago's so cool.
Do you think they would do this if they were from Champaign Urbana?
I don't think so.
I don't think they would either.
I feel like it doesn't have the Chicago magic.
No. American football is from Champaign Urbana. and you never know.
They just sing about not wanting to fucking be there, basically.
Yeah.
When was the last time you went to Chicago?
4 weeks, 5 weeks ago, probably about a month ago. Yeah.
Cool city.
I love Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago's awesome. Like, it's all the best parts of New York without the congestion that New York has. New York has like a lot of annoying parts about it.
Yeah.
I think there's probably more to do in New York, but like
there's definitely more to do in New York.
Yeah, but
just by sheer volume.
By sheer volume and like also like the amount of like fucking douchebags that live there. There's probably definitely more to do. I think Chicago, you can talk to yourself on the streets of Chicago. Does that make sense?
No.
If you talk to yourself on the streets of New York, someone will hear you. If you talk to yourself on the streets of Chicago, maybe one or two people.
Gotcha.
It's like, why is that guy talking to himself? That's the real difference.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm always going to be Chicago over New York, but
yeah.
Then again, I also think that's because we almost always have better shows in Chicago. And I think that like our Chicago fan base does not see us as like disposable. Whereas like our New York fan base, it's like, Cowboys are here. I'll wait for the next time.
Yeah.
Occasionally it's like that.
Yeah.
But there's also so much going on in New York every night.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't matter what day of the week you play there.
You get a good crowd in New York. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty darn good.
The difference also between like a sold out Chicago show and a sold out New York show is like the Chicago show is going to be way crazier. The New York show is going to be like, it's sold out, but some people have work in the morning.
Yeah.
Chicago, it's like, I do not care if I have work in the morning. I am murdering somebody tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Chicago's pretty cool. It's the kind of city where like you hear a song like this or the whole EP and you're like, why the fuck are they saying about goddamn Chicago so much? Then you go there and you're like, all right, I could see it.
I will say like songs about Atlanta and also like Atlanta being mentioned in rap songs, like no joke, Dawson, it does make me like emotional as fuck.
It makes me pop off every time.
Yeah, no, like Atlanta mentioned is real.
Yeah.
So I get it to a certain extent. I'm just not from Chicago.
Yeah.
So us being like it's another fucking song about Chicago. Like I do feel like we're kind of being dicks. Cause I know for a fact that if Fall Out Boy made a song about Atlanta, it'd make me cry. You know what I mean? Like
if Fall Out Boy, if they tomorrow came out with a song that was like Atlanta's fucking poggers, I'd be like, holy fuck.
Yeah, dude, for real. Or if they just said Atlanta in a song, I'd be like, oh my fucking god. Like,
yeah, like Jid, the Forever Story, he name drops some like Atlanta terms on that record, and like he's from here, and I'm like, yo,
yeah, dude, yeah, for
that
real.
thing,
yeah, no, that is how things go.
Yeah,
there's a time where when I worked at a rap studio in Atlanta, and like someone would be like, oh yeah, that person mentioned Atlanta in a song recently. I'd be like, well, it's probably the greatest song ever. But I think that they did there was like a Welcome to Atlanta 2 that was being made at the time. Because, there's, of course, Welcome to Atlanta by Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah.
But I believe there's a Welcome to Atlanta 2 being made. And I remember I heard it, and I was like, this is the fucking coolest thing in the world. And then it never came out, but I was like, oh my fucking god. Like, this is so cool. And then also like deep Southern rappers like make me kind of emotional. I don't know why, but I was listening to fucking T-Rock yesterday. Do you know who T-Rock is?
No, I don't.
Fucking no one does. But I was listening to T-Rock yesterday, and he's just like talking about hanging out in downtown Atlanta and like dealing drugs near the Olympic by dealing drugs near Centennial Olympic Park, and I'm like, oh, he's doing something bad, but I know where he is. Like,
I've been there.
He's probably ruining someone's life with crack or heroin, but I've been there. You don't understand.
I think Brockhampton name drops Atlanta a couple times.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what song. They when they played Atlanta in 2019, they were like, "We're gonna move to Atlanta," and everyone was like, "Whoa, yeah!" And then they didn't move to Atlanta.
They did not move to Atlanta.
They did not do that shit.
Yeah. Well, sometimes when you're a band, you're like, you say crazy shit together.
Yeah. And
then you have to get everybody on board.
And then
Dan was trying to move us to Texas for a long time.
That's awesome.
Dan might still be trying to get us to move to Texas.
Well,
it's moving to fucking Texas.
It's different,
bitch,
because Brockhampton also would like tweet that they're moving to Atlanta when they're not even in Atlanta when they're tweeting those things.
Kevin's from here.
He moved here at one point. Like, he lived here for a minute.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he was born here, but he did live here for a second. I can double check that. He doesn't ever like claim it in his music.
That's true.
It's usually Texas.
Yeah, that's right.
I can.
Anyway, I really don't mind the allusions to Chicago on this one. The line "and joke us till Lakeshore Drive comes back into focus." I know what Lakeshore Drive is, like very famous street in Chicago.
Yeah,
but like, there's no way it's joke us. What the fuck does that mean? It has to be choke us, right?
I don't know.
Like, they don't want to be anywhere else, so why don't you choke them out until Lakeshore Drive comes back into focus?
Why don't you joke?
What the fuck does that even mean?
Why don't you?
What does it mean to joke somebody?
I'd be joking.
Hey man, I'm joking you.
I'd be joking my shit sometimes.
I'd be joking my shit occasionally. But like,
what did they mean by that? It's also one of the few lines in this that does not have an annotation on Genius.
Yeah. Till Lakeshore Drive comes back into has an annotation, not focus. Focus isn't in there, but
focus is part of the annotation on mine.
I'm on the Genius app.
Me too. What the hell?
Into.
Look.
What the fuck?
What is going on here?
Maybe there's two different annotations.
Holy shit.
Lakeshore Drive is a road that runs next to Lake Michigan. It's the road you have to drive on from Chicago to get to the lake.
Wonderful.
And then someone comments 5 years ago and goes, Lakeshore Drive is the road you drive on to get from the north side of Chicago to the south side and vice versa. This road will take you anywhere you want to go in town, and the lights are a staple in recognizing Chicago.
And they marked the annotation as a stretch? What?
That's
you
hilarious.
said the same thing. What do you mean it's a stretch?
That's a stretch.
That's a stretch. Here's the exact thing, but a little reworded. What are you talking about?
Box blunts have less fun has an annotation as well, which I assume it's loading right now, as you can see.
Mine's loaded.
Fuck.
I'm just better.
What's wrong with my Genius app?
It says boxed blondes likely refers to women who are not natural blondes but have dyed their hair with stuff from a box, who therefore don't possess the naturally fun qualities blondes are stereotyped as having. Boxed blondes try to appear to be something they are not, and they continuously have to dye their roots for people to think they are naturally blonde. But no matter how much color their hair will have, they will never be a real blonde, and their roots will always show. When you move away from your hometown, you might try to fit in at whatever place you move to, but your roots will still show. You will never be able to completely fit in another city because your roots will always grow out for people to see.
Yeah,
okay.
That makes sense. That if that's what he was going for, that is a genius line. However, Nightcat comments 1 year ago, marked it as a straight stretch and said, "Who said anything about women?"
Hey, who said anything about women? Come on, man.
And then below them, Pebble Brain Mac says box blonde of any gender.
Okay.
All right, man.
I
Cool.
do. I will say, I think this annotation goes a little hard on boxed blondes.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like, because like when it got
Critical.
to the point where it's like you never like outgrow your hometown. Like,
You'll never outgrow your fucking bitch ass home.
your shit ass bitch fucking
You
hometown.
fucking fake blonde.
You goddamn idiot. It really does come off as like, you fucking fake blonde. Why don't you just be yourself instead of constantly changing your hair to try and make you look like something you're not? It's like, it's not that.
Stop pretending you live in Los Angeles, California. We all can see you're fucking Chicago.
Your Chicago is growing
Your
out.
Chicago's showing.
Better buy some more box hair dye.
You're
Bitch.
fucking. Oh, you want a hot dog with sport peppers? Your fucking Chicago's showing. I almost broke my neck doing that joke.
Yeah, you
This isn't a visual podcast.
you moved your neck quite a lot for an audio only podcast.
They have not played this song very frequently. Hang on.
What the scallop?
I wanted to mention the Opium Den Mother line. I do think that is a cool line. What is the annotation on that, if you don't mind?
There is no annotation on that.
Yeah. Even worse. Like, what the fuck, man?
Opium Den Mother. It's a cool visual. It's a cool line. I don't know exactly what he means by this.
Neither do I.
The whole pre-chorus there is, I got a pocket full of deadliness. Opium Den Mother, forget my head at the dead end called unsteadiness. Boxed blondes have less fun. Maybe he's referring to the opium crisis.
Potentially? I don't know. Fall Out Boy's in China right now.
Trying to suck this dick.
Okay. Click on a song to get detailed logistics. I'm trying to show all 209 Fall Out Boy songs. Okay,
what is
all right.
going on with your Genius app today?
I'm not on Genius.
What are you on?
I'm on Setlist FM.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, they did not play this at all on either So Much for Stardust tour.
Damn.
They have played it 28 times, all in 2018. None of them the show I was at in 2018.
Damn.
A little bit of a bummer there, but
it would be pretty funny
okay.
if it was like 20 times and all of them in Chicago. They played Chicago 20 times
they played
that
20
year.
shows in a row in Chicago.
Wow. Every night sold out.
I do think it's pretty funny that like a band can have a Vegas residency.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't a band just have like a Memphis residency? You know what I mean?
Jeff Rosenstock just announced a residency in New York.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know he was the kind of guy to go for that, but I don't know.
How long is it?
He said potentially indefinite.
Like one show a month, or like...
I don't know. I just saw the headline and it was like he announced a residency in New York.
Are you joking me?
No,
right now?
I'm not. This is for real.
You're not joking me till Lakeshore Drive comes back into focus?
I'm not jorking your shit till Lakeshore Drive comes back into focus.
Oh man. She's stroking my shit till Lakeshore Drive comes back.
Yeah.
Spit it out.
Okay, Jeff Rosenstock playing potentially infinite shows in Brooklyn this summer. Potentially infinite. It's so funny.
Crazy.
The flyer says Death Rosenstock in Brooklyn forever, playing as many shows as you want. So I guess as long as the shows keep selling out for this summer, he will keep playing shows in Brooklyn.
What the fuck?
Okay. It doesn't look like it's forever.
It's just for the summer. He's
It's
just
for the
playing
summer.
in Brooklyn.
As long as the shows keep selling out, he will keep playing shows in Brooklyn.
I gotta be real. That is a radical fucking idea.
That's
like,
so sick.
That's awesome. Like, I can't even lie. Just like pretending to be a local band in Brooklyn for a summer for that big of an artist is one of the sickest things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Billy Joel's still doing his like monthly Madison Square Garden show, right?
I don't know. I didn't even know he was doing that.
He was doing it for a really long time, and I think that's... Do you remember those clips of him bringing out Olivia Rodrigo?
Yeah.
I think what literally happened was like Olivia Rodrigo's team thought they had an extra day to like pack down like her setup, and actually Billy Joel was there like the next day. And he was like, oh, just leave it up. Can she sing this song with me? And I think that was like the situation. Like,
that's awesome.
So there's a bunch of like, you know, I don't know, high school cheerleading related props on Billy Joel's stage. Bunch of fucking old people from Long Island being like,
it's like, what the hell is it?
What the fuck is going on at the Billy Joel Madison Square Garden show? He's
so
taking
funny.
a bold new direction.
I wonder if this is related to the new Billy Joel album.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's writing new music.
No, I think that there's an interview with him where he's like, I did 12 albums. I'm not doing more.
That's
just
pretty
a lot
baller.
of albums.
It is a lot of fucking albums.
Like, every time I think about like Dowboys doing more than 5, I'm like, what would we even do? You know what I mean? Like, we'll definitely have more than 5. I definitely want to do more than 5, but like, I'm like, what the, like, I can only think 5.
Yeah.
5, Dawson.
And fucking
5.
Fucking Kevin Abstract once said on the song 1999 Wildfire. No, Diana. 1997 Diana. I think I got like 5 more albums inside my mind. This
And
that
2
shit that
of
do
those
or
were
die.
throwaways.
Make your grandmama cry.
2 of those were throwaways to get off the label. So
Yeah, it's crazy.
Didn't he just put out a new record?
Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah. He is gearing up for another one though. He's dropping a song with Lil Nas X this Friday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's making pop rap again.
Big get.
Yeah. Well, not really. They've been friends for a while.
Yeah. Speaking of pop rap.
More like pop crap.
Yeah.
I only listen to classic rock.
Yo, dude.
I only listen to Guns N' Roses. And...
Dude, rap was so cool when Run DMC and the Beastie Boys were around. Rap was so... That was when rap was
And then they got
good.
fucking exploded in a big explosion.
And then it...
And now they're not around anymore, and I can't listen to them anymore.
NWA thought...
I hate rap when it gets into all this name dropping stuff and cities.
Yeah.
Stop talking about where you're from. I don't care.
Oh, you, a rapper, wants to change society? Why don't you go talk about dancing? Why don't you go invent a new dance?
Why don't you
Why don't you stop it?
Hey, why don't you go shut the fuck up.
I like the melodic
Drake.
Drake. I don't like when he act tough.
I like the... I hate the way that you walk.
I hate the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Some shit just cringeworthy. It ain't even got to be deep, I guess. It's so awesome. It's all I want to talk about, man.
We're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Dude, I straight up like... For the past 2 days, I've been on my white Kendrick fan shit.
Yeah.
Like, I was listening to Money Trees yesterday and, like, pausing it and telling my girlfriend, like, listen. to what he's about to say.
You're fucking
And then he'd play it.
pointing at the screen, be like,
Pointing
"Look,
at the screen,
you gotta
like, just hold up.
listen
Wait
to
a
what he
minute.
says here.
Wait a minute.
Money
Check
trees
that
is
out.
the perfect place for shade.
And that's just how I feel.
And that's just how I feel.
Yeah, I've been on
You
my
gotta
white-
fucking look at this.
I've been a serious white Kendrick fan for the past 2 days.
Dude, Bummer Hill had practice last night, and after practice, Chance put on Euphoria, and we were all just sitting there going like, dude, what the fuck? And we've all heard it before.
Right, yeah, man. Yeah. No, there's like, I've probably listened to it 15 times. Not exaggerating. And like, there's still a bunch of things that still make me giggle.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much. Ah, man.
The
Let your
rating.
core fan stomach that, then tell them where you got your abs from. Ugh.
Ugh.
Oh, man.
The-
Only Kendrick can make me hate a guy for gender affirmation.
The fucking the line where he's like, the women you're fucking think they're real women.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, he be talking to minors. He be talking to underage
We
women.
hate the bitches you fuck because they confuse themselves with real. Dude, the sexy red line is straight up disrespectful.
And you stand next to Sexy Red, I bet you
believe
see
I
two
believe
bad
you see
bitches.
2 bad bitches.
It's like, holy fuck.
I don't think you like women. That's real competition. You probably pop ass with them. Oh my god! Like,
Jesus Christ, man. It's so. Do you have you looked it up on Rate Your Music? Do you know what rating it has right now?
does it have a 100? Does it have just pure clean 5
It has
stars?
a 4.2,
That's
which
high
is
as fuck.
for perspective. To Pimp a Butterfly is the most respected hip hop album on the entire website.
Of course.
It has a 4.37, and the singles from that record, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe has a 4.04, Blacker the Berry has a 4.3, I has a 3.76, King Kunta has a 4.23. Like, so for this
Yeah.
track to get a 4.2 anything and like still be holding it with
Yeah.
it has over 2,000 ratings and still holding that's nuts.
That's crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like for our listeners who don't know the typical like rating scale on Rate Your Music, it's out of 5. And if you put out an album and it gets like over a 3, you're doing good.
Sure.
You're doing
Yeah.
pretty good. It is so rare for anything to get a 4, much less be above a 4.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anything hold a 4.5.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a crazy song. I will say, like, the Pusha T beef was like crazy because it was a moment and he brought like Drake's real life into it.
Mm-hmm.
And like the song's good. Like the story of Added On is good.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gone back to it in a really long time. I also think it's not on streaming.
I don't know.
I've gone back to lots of other Pusha T songs.
Mm-hmm.
I love Daytona. I love his latest one. And I really like My Name Is My Name.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love all of those. However, this is a song that is making me want to buy Kendrick Lamar tickets, which is a feeling I haven't felt in a really long time.
Yeah.
Like I have not. I thought Mr. Morale was okay. I liked most of it.
I need to go back to that.
There's like 6 songs on it that I think are fucking absolute jams.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some filler. There's 2 things I would call non-songs, and they're just pieces of art meant to make you uncomfortable.
We Cried
Which-
Together.
We Cry Together, and also the one about his trans uncle,
Oh, Auntie Diaries.
Auntie Diaries.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are just meant to make people who don't want to address parts of that in their own life. I think that's meant to make them think and make them uncomfortable,
Mm.
which I applaud him for doing. I don't want to listen to those songs. I don't want to listen to either of those songs. I'm very sorry. I just don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like the Mr. Morale tour got announced, and like I was like, maybe. Like I don't love Baby Keem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to see Sampha put on like a full performance. Or who was the lady on We Cry Together? Taylor Page, is that her name?
I think so.
Yeah, she was also on the tour, and I was like,
You think they performed We Cry Together live?
I know they did.
That's fucked up.
Isn't that wild?
That's so crazy.
I think it was like only like night 1 and night 2. I think they realized that it wasn't going over very well. But like,
yeah, it's.
I was waiting.
Who knew that having an argument on stage is not
not appealing? Yeah, over jazz samples.
Yeah,
an argument over a great beat. I will say, like, it's a fantastic beat. But like, anyway, just for some context. I have seen Kendrick Lamar in Atlanta every time he has come since the Good Kid, Mad City tour. So for me to like not really want to go to this one was like kind of a big deal for me. I was like, yeah, no, like I'm just not gonna go. I was waiting until the set list came out, and the set list came out. And it's not good. So I was like, no. But Euphoria coming out the other day, there's like a 1% chance that I could see that song live. I will buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Literally a 1% chance. So.
It's a good goddamn song.
It not only is he pummeling Drake into the ground, not only can I only listen to pop Drake now, there's no way I can listen to rap Drake. Not a chance in hell.
I'm putting on Take Care and nothing else.
I'm putting on Passion Fruit, man. Ooh, Passion,
song.
Great song.
Great song.
I'm a throw on Passion Fruit. I'll throw on
One Dance.
Marvin's Room.
I'll
throw on One Dance.
Just Hold On, We're Going Home.
I'll throw that on. Dare me, Jeremy. I'll throw that on. However, not a chance in hell I can listen to his verse in All Me without thinking about him standing next to Sexy Red and seeing two bad bitches.
You know the wackiest thing? I don't think this is as hard as Kendrick could have gone. I think
he's saving some gas.
I think he's saving a lot of gas, and I think this is such a punch to the face of a track that Drake has to respond.
Yeah.
I don't know if he will, but I feel like he's got it.
If he pulls the same Pusha T stuff, like
I think he could get away with it on Story of Eddie Don because
it was like him like getting exposed. I think the only thing he could do, I mean, I would have really liked to hear him respond to Pusha T, but
I don't think he's ever gonna.
Well, he's never going to, and he didn't then. But like, I think he felt that he had to hang his head in shame. But then he did that press release. He was like, "I did write a really mean song, but I'm gonna be the bigger man."
Yeah,
that was it. You know,
I think he could get away with it then because the big
he has to say something to.
The big thing with the Pusha track was like revealing that he had a son.
Yeah.
This is so much more than that. Like it's just by sheer volume. Like it's not as shocking of a reveal.
It's
like
not him ruining his life.
Yeah.
But it is like it is Kendrick saying what just about everyone is thinking.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's awesome. Because my previous critique of Drake before this would be like, he's a dork. And that was probably it. And I was like, I think he's cringe. I think he's a dork. Unfortunately, every time he's in an interview and I watch the interview, I'm like, fuck, I love this guy. I'm like, he's so charming.
He's a very charismatic man.
He's so charismatic. But apart from that, he's a fucking doofus. And he releases disposable art. And just it's awesome. It's awesome that Kendrick is just
I hate the way that you walk. And
yeah. Man. And the way the track ends.
Yeah. He stops it on the word stop, which Todd in the Shadows has been going off on tracks that do that. And like, he has like he put out a whole video that's like a compilation of songs that stop on the word stop, whether it's like they end with it or not. And like the first thing that I saw him tweet about was like, this Kendrick track is great, but more importantly, it stops on the word stop. And we were like, yo.
God, that's awesome. Well, and also like he finishes that last verse and goes, ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's awesome. I'm Joker pilled. I'm Kendrick pilled.
I'm just shivering in my timbers.
I'm shivering in my damn timbers, man. Anyway, what do you want to rate Lake Effect, Kid?
Probably an 8, I think.
I'm gonna give it an 8 too.
I think it just to say a little more about the song.
Yeah.
I think it the more I listened to it today, the more it grew on me. So I remember liking it when I heard it when we had to listen to Super Fade. But that was contrasted with Super Fade.
Sure.
And most anything you put on
immediately
after that song will sound like angels fucking harmonizing together. But I think the song has a lot going for it. It definitely feels like an older track, and it makes sense why this track is the way that it is, considering the time that it was written, contrasted with the time that it came out, and also contrasted with the other 2 songs on this EP. Like, it's just so head and shoulders above the other 2 that it's like kind of baffling until you remember that it's from like 2008. So I mean, if I was there when this came out and I heard this and I was like, are they finally writing good songs again? And then someone was like, this is from 2008. I'd be like, fuck!
That was literally my reaction. I will say. That was like, oh man, I just realized I'm going to have to tell some of this story off pod.
Okay.
It's very mean. There was like, the release day was like, everyone was freaking out because it was like, Fall Out Boy is back.
They're so back.
And then like everyone listened to the other 2 songs and they're like, oh. But the first one's really good. Like, this is going to be a hit. And it wasn't. And then they like weren't really playing it live a whole lot. And like release weekend, I saw them the weekend this came out. And they didn't play it. And I was like, oh, it like truthfully is like a thing from 2008 they just re-recorded. And like it was such a bummer, but it's such a good song. So I don't know. They said in a recent interview I watched a few days ago that they like are kind of just going to keep playing whatever they want, set list wise. So I hope that continues. I hope they want to play this. I know this song's over 10 years old at this point. Song might be over 15 years old at this point.
It was over 10 years old when it came out.
Yeah, true.
It was fucking crazy.
So I get it. You know, it didn't make either album for a reason, you know. It didn't make Foley and it didn't make Infinity for a reason. So, you know, maybe they don't want to play it. But
who knows? I
will say, live video, Mania Tour, Joe looks really happy to be playing this song. Because it's a song he could go, we know. So.
He can do something on it.
He can do something on it. Yep. He's doing tricks on it for sure. Dawson, roll out that carpet, baby.
Did you give it a score?
Yeah, I said 8.
Did I give it a score?
Yeah, you said 8.
Okay.
Man. Damn.
I've been running around. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. If you're still listening, if you're not, I banish you to Chicago. Forever. Follow Carson and I's bands at the Calisdale Boys on Instagram, at Calisdale Boys on Twitter. Follow my band at Bummer Hill on Instagram, at Bummer Hill ATL on Twitter. We also have a TikTok now at Bummer Hill ATL.
What the hell?
Yeah, we got one to
I
promote
thought you meant the show. I
no.
was like, oh, cool.
No.
Thanks for setting that up.
I need to set that up, but no, we just put out a video where we do an acoustic version of Ladybugs, and we have shot collars on. It's very funny, so go watch that video. Far Removed is out a week from this episode's release, which is so fucked up.
Yeah.
So pre-order Far Removed. We have cassettes available at the Chillwave website. That would be epic of you. And then we go on tour in 2 weeks from this episode's release. Ah! Follow the podcast at The Dreaded Wheel on Twitter. Subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/The Dreaded Wheel.
We have a new Patreon thing that we're rolling out soon.
Yes.
So get ready for consistent Patreons.
We will get more consistent with the Patreon, and we have a concrete plan to do so.
Yep.
So no worries.
You want to spin?
Sure.
Cool.
Oh, it's going.
The wheel looks smaller, I will say.
It does look smaller.
Not by much, but the Beat It cover. Interesting. Okay.
All right.
I'm excited for this one.
All right. Well, next week we're talking about Fall Out Boy covering a Michael Jackson song.
Michael Jackson.
Michael. Bye.